Shabbat Shalom. I'm recording this a little bit early today. I am going over to help a friend shear some sheep. So I may be in a little late tonight, and I wanted to make sure this gets put up. So we're going to be doing the Torah portion Korah today. Today is, well, tomorrow when you get this, it is going to be the 20th of June, and it is such a beautiful day today. It's a little overcast, but you know what? The wind is blowing and it is absolutely beautiful out here. So we're just going to sit outside and do the Torah portion today. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've started a new playlist on the YouTube channel. It is the Proverb of the Day. So go ahead and go check that out, and those will be posting every morning about 5:30, so you can go in and start your day in the Proverbs. There's so much wisdom and knowledge and understanding in the Proverbs, and I've been reading them every day for the last couple of years, and it really does my heart good to start out that way. I can definitely tell when I've started the day without it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, since we are outside, you guys know Zelig and his ball. So let me show you here. There's his ball, and there is Zelig. He is waiting very impatiently for me to throw that. So periodically throughout the reading today, I will probably have to stop for a second and throw the ball. So I'm going to start out and do that now. But we are going to start in Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. And that's on page 158 of the scriptures. Uh-oh. That didn't go so well. I'll be right back. I'm back. He's lost a ball that goes with that little pitcher stick, and so we're using tennis balls. They don't quite fit as well. But let's start with the story of Korah. And Korah, son of Itzar, son of Kehath, son of Levi, took both Dathan and Amram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, son of Reuben. And they rose up before Moshe with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, called ones of the meeting, men of name. They were assembled against Moshe and against Aharon, and said to them, "Enough of you, for all the congregation is set apart, all of them, and Yahweh is in their midst. Why then do you lift up yourselves above the assembly of Yahweh?" And when Moshe heard, he fell on his face and spoke to Korah and all the company, saying, "Tomorrow morning Yahweh shall make known who is his and who is set apart, and bring him near to him. And let him bring near to him the one whom he chooses. Do this. Take fire holders, Korah and all your company, and put fire in them, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the one whom Yahweh chooses is the set apart one. Enough of you, sons of Levi." And Moshe said to Korah, "Hear now, you sons of Levi. Is it little to you that the Elohim of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to perform the service of the dwelling place of Yahweh, and to stand before the congregations to serve them? And that he has brought you near to himself, you and all your brothers, the sons of Levi, with you, yet you seek the priesthood too? Therefore, you and all your company are set against Yahweh. And Aharon, what is he that you grumble against him?" And Moshe sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they said, "We are not coming. Is it little that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, that you would also seize total rule over us? Also, you have not brought us into the land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritances of fields and vineyards. Would you bore out the eyes of these men? We are not coming up." And Moshe became very displeased and said to Yahweh, "Do not respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, nor have I done harm to any of them." Then Moshe said to Korah, "Tomorrow you and all your company shall be there before Yahweh, you and they and Aharon. And take each one his fire holder, and you shall put incense in it, and let each one bring his fire holder before Yahweh. 250 fire holders, and you and Aharon, and each with his fire holder." So each one took his fire holder and put fire in it and laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tent of appointment with Moshe and Aharon. And Korah assembled all the congregation against him at the door of the tent of appointment. Then the esteem of Yahweh appeared to all the congregation. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and said to Aharon, and Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, "Separate yourselves from the midst of this congregation, and let me consume them in a moment." But they fell on their faces and said, "O Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, when one man sins, are you wroth with all the congregation?" And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the congregation, saying, move away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." So Moshe rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, "Please turn away from the tents of these wrong men. Do not touch whatever belongs to them, lest you be consumed in all their sins." Then they moved away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moshe said, "By this you know that Yahweh has sent me to do all these works, that they are not from my own heart. If these die as all men do, or if they are visited as all men are visited, then Yahweh has not sent me. But if Yahweh creates what is unheard of, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all their belongings to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall know that these men have scorned Yahweh." And it came to be, as he ended speaking all these words, that the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men of Korah with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. And all Israel who were around about them fled at their cry, for they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up." And a fire came out from Elohim and consumed the 250 men who were offering incense. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Say to Eleazar, son of Aharon, the priest, to pick up the fire holders out of the blaze, for they are set apart, and scatter the fire some distance away. The fire holders of these men who sinned against their own lives, let them be made into beaten plates as a covering for the slaughter place, because they brought them before Yahweh. Therefore they are set apart. And let them become a sign to the children of Israel." And Eleazar the priest took the bronze fire holders, which those who were burned up had brought, and they were beaten out as a covering for the slaughter place, a remembrance to the children of Israel, that no stranger who is not of the seed of Aharon should come near to offer incense before Yahweh, and not be like Korah and his company, as Yahweh has said to him through Moshe. But all the congregation of the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and against Aharon on the next day, saying, "You have killed the people of Yahweh." And it came to be, when the congregation assembled against Moshe and against Aharon, that they turned toward the tent of appointment, and see, the cloud covering it, and the esteem of Yahweh appeared. And Moshe and Aharon came before the tent of appointment. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Arise from amongst this congregation, and let me consume them in a moment." And they fell on their faces. So Moshe said to Aharon, "Take the fire holder and put fire in it from the slaughter place, and lay incense on, and go, hurry to the congregation, and make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from Yahweh. The plague has begun." And Aharon took it as Moshe commanded, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and saw that the plague had begun among the people. And he laid on the incense and made atonement for the people, and stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. And those who died in the plague were 14,700, besides those who died on account of Korah. And Aharon returned to Moshe at the door of the tent of appointment, for the plague had stopped. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and take from them a rod from each father's house, all their leaders according to their father's houses, 12 rods." Oops, squirrel. Write each one's name on his rod, and write Aharon's name on the rod from Levi, for there is one rod for the head of each father's house. You shall then place them in the tent of appointment before the witness, where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose buds, and I shall rid myself of the grumbling of the children of Israel, which they grumble against you. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, and all their leaders gave him a rod each, for each leader according to their father's house, 12 rods. And the rod of Aharon was among their rods. So Moshe placed the rods before Yahweh in the tent of the witness. And it came to be on the next day that Moshe went into the tent of the witness, and saw that the rod of Aharon of the house of Levi had budded, and brought forth buds, and blossomed, and bore ripe almonds. And Moshe brought out all the rods from before Yahweh, and all the children of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his rod. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Bring Aharon's rod back before the witness, to be kept as a sign before the rebels, so that you put an end to their grumblings against me, lest they die." And Moshe did as Yahweh had commanded him. So he did. And the children of Israel spoke to Moshe, saying, "See, we shall die. We shall perish. We shall all perish. Anyone who comes near the dwelling place of Yahweh dies. Shall we be consumed to die?" And Yahweh said to Aharon, "You and your sons and your father's house with you are to bear the crookednesses against the set-apart place. And you and your sons with you are to bear the crookedness against your priesthood. But bring with you your brothers of the tribe of Levi too, the tribe of your father, to join you and serve you while you and your sons are with you before the tent of the witness. And they shall guard your charge and the duty of all the tent. But they do not come near the furnishings of the set-apart place or the slaughter place, lest they die, both they and you. And they shall be joined with you and guard the duty of the tent of appointment for all the service of the tent. But a stranger does not come near. And you shall guard the duty of the set-apart place and the duty of the slaughter place, so that there be no more wrath on the children of Israel. And see, I myself have taken your brothers, the Levites, from the midst of the children of Israel, a gift to you, given by Yahweh, to do the service of the tent of appointment. But you and your sons with you are to guard your priesthood for all matters at the slaughter place and behind the veil, and you shall serve. I have given you the priesthood as a gift for service, but the stranger who comes near is put to death. And Yahweh spoke to Aharon, and see, I myself have given you the charge of my contributions. All the set-apart gifts of the children of Israel, I have given them to you for the anointing, and to your sons as a law forever. This is yours for the most set-apart gifts. From the fire, all their offerings, all their grain offerings, and all their sin offerings, and all the guilt offerings which they render to me, are most set apart for you and your sons. Eat it in the most set apart place. Every male eats it. It is set apart to you. This also is yours, the contribution of their gifts. With all the wave offerings of the children of Israel, I have given them to you and your sons and daughters with you, as a law forever. Everyone who is clean in your house eats it. All the best of the oil and all the best of the new wine and the grain, their first fruits which they give to Yahweh, I have given them to you. The first fruits of all that is in their land, which they bring to Yahweh, are yours. Everyone who is clean in your house eats it. All that is dedicated to Israel is yours. Everyone opening the womb of all flesh, which they bring to Yahweh, whether man or beast, is yours. But to ransom, you shall ransom the firstborn of man, and the firstborn of the unclean beast you ransom. You ransom their ransomed ones when 1 new moon old, according to your valuation, 5 shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, which is 20 gerah. But the firstborn of a cow, or the firstborn of a sheep, or the firstborn of a goat, you do not ransom. They are set apart. Sprinkle their blood on the slaughter place, and burn their fat as an offering made by fire for a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. And their flesh is yours, as the wave breast, and as the right thigh, it is yours. All the contributions of the set-apart gifts, which the children of Israel present to Yahweh, I have given to you as a law forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahweh with you and your seed with you. And Yahweh said to Aharon, you are not to have an inheritance in their land, nor have any portion in their midst. I am your portion and your inheritance among the children of Israel. And see, I have given the children of Levi all the tithes of Israel as an inheritance in return for their service, which they are serving, the service of the tent of appointment. And let the children of Israel no more come near the tent of appointment, lest they bear sin and die. Because the Levites shall do the service of the tent of appointment, so they themselves bear their crookedness, a law forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they are to have no inheritance, but the tithes of the children of Israel, which they present as a contribution to Yahweh, I have given to the Levites as an inheritance. That is why I have said to them, among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the Levites and say to them, when you take from the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you from them as your inheritance, then you shall present a contribution of it to Yahweh, a tenth of the tithe. And your contribution shall be reckoned to you as grain from the threshing floor, and as filled from the winepress. Thus you also present a contribution unto Yahweh from all your tithes, which you receive from the children of Israel, and you shall give from them the contribution to Yahweh, to Aharon the priest. From all your gifts you present every contribution due to Yahweh, from all the best of them, the set apart part of them. And you shall say to them, when you have presented the best of it, then the rest shall be reckoned for the Levites as the yield of the threshing floor and as the yield of the winepress. And you shall eat it in any place, you and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tent of appointment. And bear no sin because of it when you have presented the best of it, and do not profane the set-apart gifts of the children of Israel, lest you die. I love how Yahweh just provides for the Levites, just out of the offering to him. I guess since we're grafted in and we are the priests because of Yeshua's sacrifice, the gifts that we offer to him are ours as well. That's kind of a puzzling thing. I have to study that. But it's just one other way that Yahweh provides for us no matter what. We give ourselves to him, and he provides our every need. I love him so much. It is just awesome how he is. Anyway, we are going to read now from 1 Samuel chapter 11, starting in verse 14, and going through chapter 12, verse 22. And that is on page 290. And Samuel said to the people, Come, let us go to Gilgal and renew the reign there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they set up Shaul to reign before Yahweh in Gilgal. And there they slaughtered slaughterings of peace offerings before Yahweh. And there Shaul rejoiced, and all the men of Israel very greatly. And Shemuel said to all Israel, Look, I have listened to your voice in all that you said to me, and have set a sovereign over you. And now, look, the sovereign is walking before you, and I am old and gray. And look, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my youth to this day. Look, here I am. Witness against me before Yahweh and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken, or whose donkey have I taken? Or whom have I oppressed? Whom have I abused, or from whose hands have I received any bribe from which to blind my eyes? Then I restore it to you. And they said, You have not oppressed us or abused us, nor have you taken any bribe from anyone's hand. And he said to them, Yahweh is witness against you, and his anointed is witness today, that you have found naught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness. And Samuel said to the people, It is Yahweh who appointed Moshe and Aharon, and who brought your fathers up from the land of Mitzrayim. And now stand still, so that I judge you before Yahweh concerning all the righteous acts of Yahweh, which he did to you and your fathers. When Jacob had come to Mitzrayim, and your fathers cried out to Yahweh, then Yahweh sent Moshe and Aharon, who brought your fathers out of Mitzrayim, and made them dwell in this place. But they forgot Yahweh their Elohim. So he sold them into the hands of Syria, commander of the army of Hatzor, unto the hand of the Philistines, and into the hand of the sovereign of Moab. And they fought against them. And they cried out to Yahweh and said, We have sinned because we have forsaken Yahweh and served the Baals and the Asherah. And now deliver us from the hand of our enemies, and we serve you. And Yahweh sent Zerubbabel and Bedan and Yiphat and Samuel, and delivered you out of the hand of your enemies round about, and you dwelt in safety. And when you saw that Nahash, sovereign of the children of Ammon, came against you, you said to me, No, but let a sovereign reign over us, when Yahweh your Elohim was your sovereign. And now here is the sovereign whom you have chosen, and whom you have asked. And see, Yahweh has set a sovereign over you. If you fear Yahweh and shall serve him and obey his voice and not rebel against the commands of Yahweh, then both you and the sovereign who reigns over you shall follow Yah, your Elohim. But if you do not obey the voice of Yahweh and shall rebel against the mouth of Yahweh, then the hand of Yahweh shall be against you, as it was against your fathers. And now stand and see this great matter which Yahweh does before your eyes. Is today not the wheat harvest? Let me call to Yahweh, so that he sends thunder and rain. Know then and see that your evil is great, which you have done in the eyes of Yahweh, in asking for yourselves a sovereign. And Samuel called to Yahweh, and Yahweh sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people greatly feared Yahweh and Samuel. And all the people said to Samuel, Pray for your servants to Yahweh your Elohim, that we do not die, for we have added to all our sins this evil of asking for ourselves a sovereign. And Samuel said to the people, Do not fear. You have done all this evil. Only do not turn aside from following Yahweh, and you shall serve Yahweh with all your heart. And do not turn aside after worthless matters, which do not profit or deliver, for they are worthless. For Yahweh would not cast away his people for his great name's sake. Seeking it has pleased Yahweh. Seeing it has pleased Yahweh to make you his people. Now we are going to turn to the book of Jude, way back in the back. Now, I know the Daily Bread says to read verses 5 through the end, but it's 4 verses. I'm going to start at at verse 1, because there's only one chapter in Jude. Yehuda, a servant of Yeshua, Messiah, the brother of Jacob, to those who are called, set apart by Elohim, the Father, and preserved in Yeshua Messiah. Compassion and peace and love be increased to you. Beloved ones, make all haste to write to you concerning our common deliverance. I felt it necessary to write to you, urging you to earnestly contend for the belief which was once for all delivered to the set-apart ones. For certain men have slipped in, whose judgment was written about long ago, wicked ones perverting the favor of our Elohim for indecency and denying the only Master Yahweh and our Master Yeshua Messiah. But I intend to remind you, though you once knew this, that Yahweh, having saved a people out of the land of Mitzrayim, afterwards destroyed those who did not believe. And the messenger who did not keep their own principalities, but left their own dwelling, he has kept in everlasting shackles under darkness for the judgment of that great day. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them in a similar way to these have given themselves over to whoring and gone over strange flesh, are set forth as an example, undergoing judicial punishment of everlasting fire. In the same way, indeed, these dreamers defile the flesh and reject authority and speak evil of esteemed ones. But Michael, the chief messenger, in contending with the devil, when he disputed about the body of Moshe, presumed not to bring against him a blasphemous accusation, but said, Yahweh rebuke you. But these blaspheme that which they do not know, and that which they know naturally, like unreasoning beasts. In these they corrupt themselves. Woe to them, because they have gone in the way of Cain, and gave themselves to the delusion of Balaam for a reward, and perished in the rebellion of Korah. These are rocky reefs in your love feast, feasting with you, feeding themselves without fear. Waterless clouds borne about by the winds, late autumn trees without fruit, twice dead, pulled up by the roots. Wild waves of the sea, foaming up their own shame. Straying stars for whom blackness of darkness is kept forever. And Hanok, the seventh from Adam, also prophesies of these, saying, See, Yahweh comes with his myriad of set-apart ones, to execute judgment on all, to punish all who are wicked among them concerning all their wicked works which they have committed in a wicked way, and concerning all the harsh words which wicked sinners have spoken against him. These are grumblers, complainers, who walk according to their own lust, and their mouth speaks proudly, admiring faces of others for the sake of gain. But you, beloved ones, remember the words spoken before the emissaries of our Master Yeshua Messiah, because they told you that there would be mockers in the last time, who would walk according to their own wicked lusts. These are the ones who cause division, not having the Spirit. But you, beloved ones, building yourselves up on your most set-apart belief, praying in the set-apart Spirit, keep yourselves in the love of Elohim, looking for the compassion of your Master Yeshua Messiah into everlasting life. And show compassion towards some who are doubting, but others save with fear, snatching them out of the fire, hating even the garment defiled by the flesh. and to him who is able to keep you from stumbling and to present you blameless before the presence of his Elohim with exceeding joy, to the only wise Elohim, our Savior, be esteem and greatness and might and authority, both now and forever. Amen. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbat. Rest in him.